Hi, everybody. It's Christina. And here's GE203, ready for a new week, right? I want to congratulate all of you for making it more than 50% of the way through this class. We are totally on the home stretch. So today, the reason I'm talking to you is because I'm going to demonstrate how to use a database, a library database. I know that some of you, maybe all of you, have used library databases before, but it's a requirement of this class for me to go over it, and I will go over it briefly, but I will go over it. And I have also included content about what a library database actually is and how to distinguish between popular and scholarly articles. And even if you know how to do this already, watching these aren't going to hurt you. And actually, many students overestimate their ability to distinguish between popular and scholarly content. So even if you think you're an expert, it's possible that you're not. Sometimes I'm not, and I'm a librarian. So anyway, take a look at those. I've also created this little cheat sheet here that describes the elements of scholarly articles, and I think that this can be very helpful for you in making that distinction between popular and scholarly content. All right, well, anyway, back to the course. I know that you can look at this at your leisure, and I'm not going to drone on in this screencast about all of that stuff. So I'm just going to get to the database searching quickly. So I'm going to start out with a database called ProQuest, which is a multidisciplinary database. So really what that means is if you're looking for information about whether or not athletes should maintain certain grade point averages in order to play sports in college, you're going to find something there. If you're looking for something about health-related issues, you're going to find something here. If you're looking for something about Shakespeare, you're going to find something here. So multiple disciplines are represented here, and you can find scholarly and popular content in this database. So I think it's a good starter, and I'm going to guess that many of you have searched this before. Whoops, there's my search already in there. So I've come up with this question: does social media play a role in creating echo chambers? We've read a little bit about those, and some of you may think that yes, it does, and some of you may think, maybe it doesn't. And I can tell you that the literature out there is divided also. So I'm going to see what kind of stuff is out there and make my own decision. Anyway, in order to do that, probably the first thing I would do is search Google, right? That's what I would do. I'm assuming that that's what you would do too. And when I search Google, I can type this whole question and get results. And just from this page right here, it kind of looks like I have relevant stuff, right? It kind of looks like that to me. It looks like I have some scholarly material. I have something from U.S. News and World Report, so that's popular content. I have, like, here's a scholarly article about that. So there's great stuff there. But when you want to search databases using that question, whoops, I took that part out originally. Sorry about that. Doesn't necessarily come up with the same quality of results. You'll see I only found 78 things, and I know that there are more than 78 results for this kind of question out there. And ProQuest isn't as forgiving with language as Google is. It's not as sophisticated. And it, quite honestly, it just kind of doesn't understand what you're asking it. And ProQuest really wants you to deal with concepts rather than questions. So if you think about what the main concepts of your question are rather than what your question is, ProQuest will function better for you. So if you had that question, does social media play a role in creating echo chambers? Really, basically what you're doing is thinking or looking for information that brings the concept of social media and the concept of echo chambers together, right? So you're looking for articles that mention both social media and echo chambers and like investigates the relationship between those concepts. So I will suggest that searching databases will be more effective for you if you do something like this. Social media as one concept, and then you are pairing it. You're saying that you want articles that mention social media and echo chambers, and leave echo chamber singular. Okay. And then you can hit search and you're going to get some things. You can also limit to things that have full text. And you can also limit to things that have been peer reviewed. And these concepts, both of them will be addressed in the tutorials that you may have already watched by the time you get to this video. If not, watch them. So I'm going to hit search and you'll see that I will get more than 78 things. So now I have 26,000 things, which is probably too many to sift through during a research session, but there are some things that I can do to limit the results that I get. Again, I can limit to full text or peer-reviewed here, and I can limit to scholarly content. I can limit to newspapers. I can limit to magazines. So newspapers and magazines will be that more popular content, which doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's not scholarly content. Or I can look only in scholarly journals. I can also limit by date, and you'll see that there's a huge spike in information regarding those two topics in the past 10 years, looks like. And then I can start clicking, and you'll see that there's full text access to much of the stuff that's here. Looks like just about all of it. Sometimes you only get a citation, and that's when you don't see a full text link here. Okay. So I'm just going to click on one and show you a couple of other things that you can do once you find something. So this particular article I'm using as illustration purposes. I'm not saying it's necessarily relevant. Kind of looks like it, doesn't it, by the title. Looks like this is a scholarly article, and you'll see why when you look at the content for this class. But I want to show you what ProQuest does for you. You can download the PDF of this particular article. You can use this cite button to create a citation, and you're going to need this for your final assignment. You're going to need it for the assignment due next week, and you will need this in the future for your work here at Aquinas. You can create a citation in MLA style or any of these other styles. APA is another common one, right? And then you could just copy and paste it into your document. You could print the document here. You could email this article to yourself so you can read it later, or you can save it to your computer. If you want to print this, please use this button because it will format it to be printed. If you don't use that button, it's going to print all funky. And email, don't use this URL up here to email the article to yourself because it won't work later and it won't work on a different machine. But this email will make a link that works later. Okay, these databases have been paid for you. So in order to get into ProQuest, if you're off campus, and I'm assuming that all of you are, then you'll need to log in with your name and your student ID number that you see on your student ID. If you have trouble with that, please notify me earlier than later. All right, looks like I have 25 seconds left of this video. So I'm going to stop here and pick up where I just left off and give you just a couple more minutes of instruction. All right, see you in a minute.